Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Ileana Lamar podcast. I am your host, Ileana. Today, we've got an exciting guest. I'm so excited to have him here. He is an award-winning filmmaker, a digital strategist. He is a health advocate from the Rio Grande Valley, Texas. He's creating documentaries on exposing water contamination. We're going to get into that.
Some of that, yeah.
Some of that today. Public health crisis and environmental injustice, all while driving real change through his nonprofit work and his community outreach. Joshua Moroles, we are so excited to finally have you here. Welcome.
Thank you for having me. It's going to be an interesting conversation.
We're gonna have fun. Just so that you know, I always let our guests know that we cover what we call the LAMAR FIVE, which is the 5 pillars of life, which we would go over: emotional, mental, physical, spiritual, and financial. We usually will go into one or two and then tie it up into what you will be talking about. So that's kind of what we're going to be touching base. But before we do, let's find a little bit more about you from your perspective. Yeah. What drives you? What is like your passion behind the stories that you tell and all that good stuff?
That's an interesting question. I think it's the people. Like before, like I could care less. Like I was naively content with my life, not knowing anything. What's the ignorance is bliss? Until I started uncovering a lot of the stuff. And I've always had this question in the back of my mind is like, why are there so many sick people in the Rio Grande Valley? And throughout the ages, I struggled with obesity, health issues and stuff like that. And it wasn't until I got into my 40s, I was like, started questioning more things like, I have kids now, I want to live longer. What am I consuming? What's going into my body? And that's when I started making some documentaries based off of the Rio Grande Valley specifically. And my latest one uncovers what would happen if the next Hurricane Beulah were to come, but what happens after the hurricane leaves and this devastation that's left behind.
And that's why I said I have to have him on, because I see the passion, I see the commitment. Yeah. That you want to make a change. So really exciting about that. So I kind of asked you the why. I kind of want to know like what the fire is about the environmental health and storytelling, but we kind of went over that right now. So how do you handle that though, now that you've taken that on? And we're going to talk about the people that you're dealing with, because when we touch something that hasn't been covered before, you tend to have naysayers. You tend to have people that, okay, no, this is how we've always done it. And people are sometimes not accustomed to change. They resist. How has that affected you in any way emotionally?
Yeah.
Or
I think I'm human. I go through all the emotions. Like I'm as a Mexican man, we usually just shove it down deep down inside. But I found as you get older, you kind of want to teach your children like, it's okay to have feelings. Like you go out into the world, you're going to go through all these ups and downs, and you just don't shove it down, because it goes out some way. At some point in your life, it'll come out in some weird way or the wrong way, or maybe you just don't deal with it, so you have issues. And that could actually cause health issues as well. So I think just being aware of your environment here in the Rio Grande Valley is important, because it's truly about the people. I have 2 kids. I have a wife. I'm married. I have a family man. But everybody I know is from here. I have friends, I work here. I have businesses that I know that I've been working with since 2016. So the thing I hate the most is waking up in the morning on social media and then seeing that somebody else got cancer, or somebody else's daughter passed away, or they're dealing with a health issue that could have been avoided if you knew something about, let's just say, the environment that was causing that health issue. So it's just, I think that is the desire behind me getting it out. And the backlash that I get, I mean, it's kind of part of it. I don't let it affect me too much, but it does sometimes, because there's people on social media, they don't know me, which is fine, so I can just shove them aside. But the truth is, like, people are reaching out to me for a reason. I don't know why, but I can only assume is because they do not have a voice, and their voice is not being heard. So with the people that I'm able to reach on social media, I'm reaching millions of people, and people are commenting, sending me stuff every single day. People reach out to me by the phone. I don't even know how they find my number. So please do not call me, people. Do not find my number. It's a little invasive, right? I don't mind if you reach out to me. Yeah, I don't mind if you reach out to me, but it's honestly like just people simply do not have a voice. So through me, they're getting that voice heard.
You talked about the naysayers and the haters. Can you touch base into something that has just been like wild and as far as something?
Yeah, there's quite a few. I get trollers. There's certain, because you have to understand. I have to preface this. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a scientist. I'm not a chemical engineer. I'm a dude that found water reports and started researching stuff. And I'm not an idiot, so I can put things together.
Right.
So I mean, I'm fairly smart and intelligent person. I can put things together, but to a person who studies this, I'm coming in and reading these reports and saying these claims that are backed by science. So I'm putting it out there, and in their eyes, I'm just a dude talking head on social media. I don't know what I'm talking about. So it's very hard to navigate that when you have a professional, which I'm never going to knock a professional because that's literally what they do, right? But also, if I can point out something that most people don't know or they don't understand and put it in a way that they can understand it, it makes sense to the average person instead of like, for example, right here, like take a look at this. This is your water report that you get every single year during summer.
They're not going to go through this. Most people.
Who's going to go
through this? Right.
99% of people will not go through that.
Wow.
They'll look at it.
It has the reports of copper and lead.
Yes.
And chloride.
Oh, some of those things you can't even name.
Wow, cyanide and fluoride. Okay.
So, for example, like I get a lot of backlash.
But a lot of people are not going to want to go through that because not only that, I think it's the trusting factor. We've done it. It's like I said, it goes back to it's always been this way.
Yeah.
It's always been this way.
Well, the thing is, too, you get this reports every single summer. You get one reports in summer, and what it tells you is what's in your water from the year before. So January 1st to December 31st, 2024. This water report came out in 2025 summer. So that means if your water had bacteria in it in January 1st of last year, you won't find out till summer the following year, which is a huge problem. And it's fine. I get it. Nobody reads these things, right? But that's why it's...
You've done those tests, and I've seen you. I mean, anybody can do them. Anybody can grab them. I saw that, but you're doing it. You're going from city to city to city. Is it... In your opinion, because remember, we're like you said, the whole professional thing. I think the fact that you're able to find the evidence, but in your opinion, are we in this area dropping the ball and hiding things that we shouldn't? Are we failing? Is there a failure? Is there a marker that says, "Holy crap, that's not cool. That's not good water"? Or are we fairly comparable to the rest of the country, the rest of the state?
I just got back from Washington State, and I tested the water out of tap, and it tests. So what I'm talking about when I say I'm testing with a TDS meter, which tests the total dissolved solids within the water. So open up the sink, test out the water, you put your meter in, and it gives you a reading between 0 and, I don't know, 5,000.
Right.
So anything over 500 is above the EPA limits. So anything beyond 500, your water should be filtered. So I took it up to Washington State. The water tested at about a 30, which is highly purified water. You got to think about that too, because if you're in Washington, you're up in the north, right?
Right.
And you have mountains and the glaciers, all that stuff is coming, it's melting. So in the Rio Grande Valley, you're talking about everything that gets down all the way down to the Rio Grande Valley, and then we finally get whatever's left over. And then you also think about the Arroyo Colorado and the Rio Grande River, which are both highly polluted water sources. So the Rio Grande River is where we get our water from. This is where the municipalities pull the water from, and they put it into the municipalities, filter it out, clean it out. And that's the water that we use for tap, bathing, brushing our teeth. The Rio Grande River is known to be highly contaminated. It has chemicals, it has dead bodies, it has dead animals, it has algae, it has a bunch of nasty stuff. So when it goes into the municipalities, they have to highly process it. Then what they're doing in the municipalities, kudos to the guys, because I have to say this. I am not here to demean any city employees. Thank you for your job. You all do amazing stuff. I don't even understand it. But I'm reading from reports that are from you all.
What's our number?
So
What's our
what
number
it's showing is, well, I tested the other day my tap water from McAllen. It was tested over, I think it was about 586. So that means it has a lot of total dissolved solids. It doesn't tell you exactly what's in the water.
It's just,
but it shows you that there's stuff inside the water. And anything that's below 50 is considered highly purified. Anything over that, it starts getting a little bit dirtier and nastier. And like I said, I'm not a scientist, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a chemical engineer. But based off of what's that high reading, I can go back to the Consumer Confidence Report and probably claim that there is copper, lead, chlorine, haloacetic acids, arsenic, barium, cyanide, fluoride, all the stuff that is in the Consumer Confidence Report that we get every single year.
right.
I can most likely say that it's in the water today.
And there are a lot of people that aren't able to get their water filtered, that aren't able to get bottled water, so they're drinking this stuff.
Correct. Yeah, 30% of the Rio Grande
stuff.
Valley is in poverty. So Texas A&M did a study. Texas A&M did a study in February 2025 that tested homes in Alamo and Progreso, and 100% of all the homes that they tested for levels of arsenic in the water, with lead also in some of them. So the answer to that, I believe it was one of the city entities, they gave a bunch of Brita water filter systems to all those communities. The problem with that is if you don't educate and inform people, once that Brita filter is done,
That's it.
It's over. Do you think they have the money to go and repurchase another one? So it's a temporary fix to something that is like, hey, we did this, bye, see ya, move on to the next one. It's not a fix for the future, and that seems to be the problem, because I don't hear a lot of the candidates that are starting to run right now talk about the dire issues that are going on with the water. Like we're in a huge problem with our water right now. Water is so scarce in the Rio Grande Valley. Eventually, you'll see a cup like that with water is going to cost you as much as a gallon of gas.
And I think that, again, it goes back to, we have our ways. We are very cultured in this area, and they've covered certain issues. But I really believe, you might not think that they're not. I believe that these are going to be topics that are going to be going. With all the work and all the effort that you're putting there, I honestly believe that they're going to start paying attention to the issues. Have you had anybody, and we don't have to name them, have you had anybody in those elected positions or that has just been newly elected, showing, okay, we'll take a look, or is it kind of, this is what we've done, and this is how it's going to stay, kind of deal?
It's difficult to approach the situations, because obviously they're elected for a reason, because they're really good at what they do, right? But when I point out certain things, and I guess people can say I'm an alarmist or whatever, but I'm like I said, I'll go back to reading their reports and their content that they put out, and I'm just putting it in a way that people can understand it. So yeah, people have reached out and they said that their patience with me is running really low. But the truth is, people to this day still drink the tap water, and the answer to the question I posed earlier still has not been answered. Why are there so many sick people in the Rio Grande Valley? It's the environment. It's also the foods that we eat. So if you're eating Takis for breakfast in the morning, you're probably gonna have gut issues, right? But it's you have to understand that we're already at a disadvantage, because the exposure to the environment we are in has already given us a crutch. So meaning moms that are pregnant right now, they're going to bring in a child into the world, say they have diabetes, they have something in them, that's going to get passed on. So they're already predisposed to some health issue that they're going to develop later in life, versus if you knew about this, then you probably make some steps to change your drinking water habits or your eating habits or something like that.
And that's one of the reasons that we did that. Like I said, the pillars, it's the emotional, mental, it's also the physical, the spiritual, the financial. I know I went to a conference in Miami a few years back, and one of the things was that we were viewed as, the poverty, and I believe McAllen was ranked number one as far as like the
McAllen or surrounding cities. Most obese city in the nation.
Obese city in the nation. Okay, so that's one of the things that I've been talking about with physical and helping that change. How do you? We'll jump to physical. We were going to go over mental. How do you keep yourself in that physical shape to handle everything that you're doing? And you mentioned that you had a transformation. what triggered it? What did it? What was it? Was there a boom? Was it like from one day to the next? Was it a switch, or was it something that just gradually hit?
Interestingly enough, when I turned, I think it was 41.
Okay.
I already had a really good success, right? And at that point, I was like, oh, I'm good. I'm eating whatever I want, and I was at 250 pounds. But my buddy Mike Garcia became my trainer for the next 2 years. He's like, hey, just come over to my gym. I'll get you guys starting to work out, do some functional stuff. And from there, it just started. And from there, I was like, Mike, I know it's going to take me a long time to get here, but I'm literally only interested in the vanity parts of working out. I'm not interested in the health and all that stuff. I want the vanity because many times before that, I've done a lot of cardio and I lost weight, but cardio doesn't equal the body that you see in your head.
Right.
Lifting weights does that. So I was like, I had never lifted weights in my life, and I was in 41. So I was like, hey, let me try this. So after that, after about 6 to 8 months, I finally saw results. So I was like, oh, okay, this is cool. And I just kept it up ever since. And then I learned the foundation of how to lift weights correctly. Right. And I've been doing it ever since.
I think resistance training as you get older is a necessity, for sure.
Muscle is the number one preventer of injury.
Right.
So
for sure.
If you don't
congratulations to you, because it people have to start setting examples. Yeah. People have to start doing that.
I was very lucky. I wasn't out seeking it. It just happened to fall in my lap at the right time. And I've noticed that a lot of people around me, my age, a lot of people were suffering from health problems. So I was like, I just got in there at the right time. And thank God for Mike showing up in my life.
Let's go back to mental. We talked a little bit about physical. We're going to jump everywhere. But are there, you've done filmmaking, and you've done data-driven strategy. How do these ideas and things come up? And again, we were talking about the physical. How do you stay mentally in tune? How does that intelligence keep going? How do you get that brain going?
I will give everybody a secret, and a lot of people don't like it. November of 2022.
November of 2022.
Or 2022, sometime over there, is when ChatGPT came out. It was the first artificial intelligence that was gifted to humanity that people can use.
Yes.
And I used it I actually have used it every single day since then. So people will complain to me about the water issues that are also brought about the AI infrastructure and stuff like that. Fine, I get it. Yes, right. I'm part of the problem. I think we all are. But to answer your question, 2022, I started using it. I was using it every single day for the first 2 months. And then actually ChatGPT sent me a message saying, go outside, touch grass. I was using it so much because I'm in digital marketing.
You were ahead of the curve,
I'm in digital marketing and advertising.
They told you to go outside.
Yeah, I got a message back.
That sounds unreal. You're using it too much. They want people to use it, but they're telling you, no, go take a rest, go hug a tree.
It was interesting. But I knew since digital marketing and advertising on social media, I was already ahead of the game, so I wanted to be ahead of everything. Right. So ever since then, I've been using it, and it's 10x my productivity. It's 10x my life. I make GPTs, which are separate chat GPTs, but they're specialized in certain situations and knowledge and intelligence, or I'll call upon them and they teach me stuff about cryptocurrencies, or I have one that's my health coach, or there's 18 different ones that I call upon that are my mentors, because it's very hard to find a mentor that will give you the time. So I literally just duplicated my mentors into GPTs that I chat with all the time. It might be a little weird for people to
but
grasp
that. But it's part of your business. I think it's part of what you're doing. Yeah. You know what I mean? It makes sense. And I mean, will have to tell you that I've been using ChatGPT more than usual lately. Yeah. So I think it's something. I know a lot of people fear AI and so forth, and I believe, and they're going to take our jobs and stuff like that. I feel that it's gonna take the jobs if you don't learn it.
Yeah.
I think that's important. I mean, what do you
No, you're absolutely right. Yeah, you're right. It's the people that are learning it that will take those jobs. And I mean, think about it now, AI is being unleashed into these huge corporations like Facebook, Microsoft, all these companies. Amazon, I think, just got rid of 15,000 people over the past 3 years.
Right. Yeah.
So all those AI is being implemented into the businesses because, for one, people are expensive. People don't show up on time. People are lazy. They get tired. They want vacations. AI does not do that stuff. So if you're talking about like a productivity from like even like from the stock market, the people that are like the main businesses that are pushing the stock market forward, they need to make income for their stockholders. Yeah. So they're going to find the best way to make that margin and profit margin bigger, and it's going to be AI is going to be that answer.
How do you see the future?
Oh man,
how do you see the future?
I feel very displaced. I think it's going to be very displaced. There's going to be a few people that are the poverty level. I feel might get worse, or if we get universal basic income, people are going to get free and do what they want, make art all day, and I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see. But I mean, I want to learn the AI because I'm going to implement it. I think I saw a statistic like 2 years ago saying that the first $100 million business is going to be built like by a team of 2 or 3 people, and that's already happened.
AI. Yeah, it's happening.
Yeah. So
well, we are, I believe, record-breaking millionaires right now as far as like the number of millionaires that there are now. It's growing. Yeah. You know, so that's a big deal. Let's jump into the spiritual part. You work on centers and you work on justice. I saw something that you just did recently. Was it yesterday already?
It was yesterday.
Okay,
yeah.
You did something like that for like profits. How does all of this and you're giving back, how does that connect? And do you feel it ties into that like sense of purpose as far as, you know, your spiritual growth? Do you believe in that? Do you talk about that? Do you think it's taboo?
No, I don't think it's taboo. I think a lot of people go through life just going through the rhythm of stuff, and I feel like a lot of people that are sad or upset that they're not where they want to be is because they're not living life with purpose. And they don't know what their purpose is. Right. And it took me a very long time to figure it out because I'm one of those guys that ask God, hey God, show me a sign. I never get signs. Like some people hear God speak to them. I don't get. Maybe I'm dumb. I just don't see them. No. Maybe I don't know. People see numbers. People see signs. I don't see it. I ask God, clearly show me something. I don't get anything, nothing at all. So I had to clearly put my flag in the ground and say, hey, this is what I'm going to do. And it seems to be the right thing. And it goes back to the whole issues of health, wealth, and spirituality, and also helping the community because like I said earlier, there's 30% poverty levels in the Rio Grande Valley. And we're one of the poorest places in the entire United States. Right. So the nonprofit that I joined is Fundación Amor Infinito. Yesterday we had we gave out 3,000 plates to the community in Edinburgh at Bird Ogden Arena with Bobby Pulido. And those are the people that we serve because we have 4 different locations: San Juan, Alamo, McAllen, and New in Brownsville. Okay, so the people the people that come in there are those people that are the 30% in poverty. We give out free clothing, free food, free household items. All you got to do is show up to our place, stock your bags full of whatever you want, take it. We don't ask questions. The reason why I joined that is because I saw the need, for one. Right. But then also I got to meet the people. So it's one thing helping people, giving monetary donations, and here's your money, go do what you need to do. Right. It's another thing to hear their stories and interact with them one-on-one and be in the same place as they are with their kids running around and stuff like that. It's a different feeling. And I encourage anyone that should want to do that to try to do that and just feel like people are human. Right. Humanize the whole situation. Right. Because it does give you a different perspective. But going back to that, the reason why I think I have a purpose with that is because I feel like a lot of these people, we can help. Like it's within our grasp to help them. It's within our community. The people that are there can actually help these people. And like I said, we don't ask for anything. We don't ask for money. We don't ask for donations. Right. Everything that comes from is from people that are generous hearted or from the board members themselves. So Montserrat has found a way, which is the lead. She has found a way to get everything gifted to us somehow by the grace of God and open up the doors for everybody who needs help. So I think that's kind of my purpose. Part of my purpose is to educate and inform and to help as much as I possibly can while I'm here.
You see a lot of this going on, and financial is one of my pillars, right? Because I do believe we live on the earthly realm, we live in the physical realm, we need to make money. If we lived in another, universe and it didn't, wasn't needed, then I probably wouldn't have it on there, because I believe the mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual would be needed regardless, because it's our body, it's our temple. A lot of people right now are in such a stressful state, though. I see, and I am trying to help them kind of embody all 5 pillars, but you see some people that are just like, and you have to be rich, and you see people on boats, and you see this, and then I know with myself, I was able to do very, very well 20s, 30s, but it wasn't till later on that I found the purpose and the why. What would you say to the younger generation that is pressured, that feels pressured, that, guys want to make money so that they can, just for the girls, or just for this, or just for that? What advice would you give to them?
Yeah. Pay attention
if you want
to
look
these
in the
people.
camera,
Yes. You need skills. Skills are the one thing that sets you apart from different things. And of course, sales too, because if you have a skill set, you're gonna find yourself in competition with a lot of other people who are just as skilled as you. But if you're skilled, that means that a lot of people that aren't skilled, you just leveled up. And now if you can close deals and then actually get people to pay you for your skill, you can build a business. I think building a business is one of the most important things that people can do, because it creates cash flow and you're not working from 9 to 5. I used to work at Dairy Queen from the age of, my dad owned Dairy Queen. From the age of 3 to about 30 years old, I was stuck inside Dairy Queen. I remember opening the window one day, because I worked the window. I was like, I never had a lunch break anywhere else. I wonder what that feels like. And now I eat lunch in my car on the way to the next place. So I don't know, like, but I have freedom.
Right.
I think that's what owning a business creates is your freedom, because when you start working like an 8 to 5, 9 to 5 job, you're stuck there. Like, my heart goes out to teachers, because they're there early and then they have to do other stuff after.
Right.
They're there all day and they take care of our kids. Our kids are pain in the asses. So it's an interesting thing. So my heart goes out, but I'm just saying, if you want advice, my advice would be to upskill and stack your skills based off of your own skills. Say you're a photographer, and now you're going to learn videography or digital marketing or something. You stack them on the sides, and stack those skills, and you sell them as a package deal to somebody that can use your services. Build a business, and then when you start to have leftover money, which you're supposed to save money, not just blow it on everything, you start investing in stuff. And you need assets in life, because the way inflation is going nowadays, you're simply not going to make it unless you own assets. And this is like land, homes, Bitcoin, gold, silver, stuff like that. You need to invest in assets. And a lot of people will ask themselves, well, I don't have any money in the bank. Well, you need to figure it out, because it's going to get worse. Right. Like, the inflation is going to keep going up. The cost of things are going to keep going up. And if you don't find a way to invest in something that's going to go up over the next 10 years, then you're going to get behind. You're going to stay behind.
Like, these last 2 years, I've been seeing it a lot. I mean, it's been happening for a while, but you're seeing all these opportunities, and you see a bunch of people making money. You see a bunch of people taking, having these opportunities, and then you see these kind of going. What do you think about what's happening, like, within maybe the middle class? Do you have an opinion on that?
Yeah, I think the middle class is going to get pushed out of a lot of things, because you're starting to see the poverty levels, they already can't afford stuff. You go to H-E-B right now in the middle class, and they're starting to see prices increase. Those prices are going to go going up.
Right.
So I feel like if that middle class doesn't invest in assets now, like, it's going to get substantially harder in the future. So they have to figure out a way to invest in assets. And I don't even think people really understand what assets are. So it's just, it's an educational and informational thing that you need to do your own research. Don't take my advice. Just figure it out, because I listen to people who have made tons. The great thing about social media is that you can go on X right now, Twitter, and listen to billionaires and watch exactly the moves that they're doing. And chances are they've been successful for reasons. So I'm literally just following what they're doing, and then you don't have to think about these things. They're your mentors for a reason.
Right. And I've gone to conferences and things like that, workshops and things like that. And I've just finally started to, okay, you know what? I've got to do that again, because I had nonprofit organizations. I had multiple companies and so forth, and I kind of just hit a break. So as far as you said, you told them about skills, you told them about that. What about that finding their purpose? Because I noticed with me, and you kind of mentioned it, I had money, I had all this stuff, I go on vacations, but there was an empty feeling. Mm-hmm. How would you tell them, like, to prepare, or you mentioned about purpose, but to have their why? It's not about only learning the skill set. It's also because even in this area, we have I don't want to pick on people or something like that, but I hear people saying that because I've been very blessed that I've had family and friends, even though I've had haters. I think anytime you do something, you're going to have haters. You're going to have people that, oh my God, what are they doing, whatever. But you hear a lot of in the area that say that people around you have crab mentality. Yeah. You hear the crab mentality thing happen here. Do you believe that crab mentality is real?
Yeah, 100%, especially in the Rio Grande Valley. I think a lot of people just don't know what to do. Like they're paralyzed by indecision. So they ask too many people for advice that have never done the things that they want to do. So they're getting too much. They're getting too much feedback from the things that they're asking instead of doing. Right. So you kind of have to do stuff to figure out what you like. If you try 10 different things, then you might find one. If you don't find them, then try 10 more different things. But people just want instant gratification. And so many people, like you can see it when you're walking around or talking to people. Like so many people have like such a profound sadness in their eyes. And I feel like a lot of it is because they just don't know what to do. They're stuck. Or they hit a wall, or maybe they're getting too old and they're like, maybe my life has passed me by. I'm just gonna settle down. Right. But I don't think people really understand that you can reinvent yourself every single year. Like if you want, if you're not happy, change it, because I can honestly tell you, nobody cares as much as you think. No, exactly. Yeah. Right. We talk about that, like post it, do it. Nobody just cares. Do what you're going to do. And we are our harshest self-critics. And, that's, again, the podcast and the message. I've been helping people since 2017 as far as like with adults, with coaching, with it. I had the 4 pillars, the emotional, mental, physical, and spiritual. I just added the financial, and that's why we started doing this. So I want to encourage everybody, especially in this area and anybody else out there, because I have clients and so forth from all over the country. I even help people from outside of the country. The main thing is just start. That's the main thing. Just start. And but I do believe that the LAMAR 5, those pillars, and I'm trying to like boost it, but I really do believe like this formula and focusing on all of those is important, because again, if you focus on this, you're going to be lacking on this. Like you said, financial, and you're like hollow over here. It's not feeling fulfilled over here, and vice versa. Yeah, so I think also it's important to say that it all takes time. Like if you're trying to get all those 5 pillars done in a week, no, good luck. No, like it happens over. And I feel like I've seen this in my life and certain people's lives, that you usually change life perspectives about every 5 years. Okay. So you're 10 to 15, your mentality is one way. From 15 to 20, it's going to be a different way. 21 to 25, and so on. 30 to 35, 40 to 45, and then 45 to 50. Your whole mentality changes about every 5 years, because you grow a little older, your kids grow a little older, you get a little bit more experience in life, you experience more things. So I think every 5 years is a good way to say, hey, if this didn't work, let me reset it and try something different. Right. 5 years is a relatively short amount of time. It really is. I had a poster a few years back. It's about it's never too late to reinvent yourself and stuff like that. So I'm glad that you are also saying that. Okay, so you are a 10X certified digital. I'm a 10 times certified digital marketer from a digital marketer out of Austin. How have you used those skills to help with your financial stability? And you mentioned that you've done films and stuff like that. How does that all tie in? Does it all tie in, or is it all kind of like... Yeah, okay. So back in 2016 is when I took the certification. The interesting story is when back in 2016, I got kicked out of the agency that I helped create. And I told him, like, let me just do the certifications and we'll just end our partnership. So we paid a ton of money for that certification. So I took it, and at that time I probably had like 3 clients. I was like, let me go off on my own, because it was either that or going back to Dairy Queen. I was like, I'm not going to go back. I don't care. To Dairy Queen. I don't care. We've already made that decision. I'm going to figure it out some way. So those are the things too that people have to really, they have to be in enough pain to be able, like, or you know what, you have
purpose,
you have to be in enough pain, and if you haven't made the changes, because you're not in enough pain.
Right.
And I remember one time my daughter went into the fridge, and I was relatively making some good money at Dairy Queen because I was next in line to take over the Dairy Queen. Something happened, it didn't happen, but I was getting paid really well. My daughter went to our fridge and was like, "We don't have any snacks." I was like, how the hell am I making good money? I can't even afford snacks for my daughter. So that made an impact in my life. I still remember to this day. But going back, digital marketing taught me how to sell. I was skilled enough at be able to generate leads, to create awareness, engagement, all that stuff. But the part where I was lacking was the sales part. So I had to learn it. I took every single meeting, even if it was just whoever. Anybody that called me for a meeting, I took it so I can get reps in, so I can just learn how to speak to people. Right. And over the years, it just got better and better and better. I refined my sales strategy. I refined everything that I do in the way I sell packages to people. And I found that if you just treat the people that you want to work with really good, you answer on time, you show up on time, you give them the product that they want and they need, and you get them the results, you're probably going to stay on board for a long time. Right. Because it's very hard to find people.
Right.
Find good people that you want to do business with for long term, and then keeping the results over and over and over again. So that helped me figure out how to make my own business. From there, I've been going at it ever since, and it's I keep learning every single year how to do things, strategize, implement, optimize, and it seems to be working. So,
how would you tell someone to align their financial, decisions to help them with like making an impact? Like you do the nonprofit. How would you help? How would you tell them to do that? Is it kind of like find sponsors, kind of tie in to that?
Yeah, I think
financial wise,
especially like a nonprofit, it's very cumbersome because nonprofits rely on input from investors or donations, and a lot of times the board members or the founder are the ones that putting the money forward. So my job has allowed me to invest and help the people with the community, especially with time, but also you need donations from people. It's the relationships that you're going to be building with business owners across the Rio Grande Valley, going to networking events. I hate going to networking events. I do it online. So when I have to go, I'm like real cringy. For some reason,
you're more introvert.
I'm very introverted.
Right.
I can turn it on. I can turn my on my extroverted, but I'm very introverted. But I'll do it. But I feel as those relationships, especially like now with social media, now that I'm reaching so many people, a lot more people are reaching out to me, and they're seeing the things that I do, because I'm not one of those guys that's going to take pictures with the people that show up to the nonprofit. Hey, look at me, guys. I'm helping out the community. I'm not that. That's not me.
Right.
Like I like to be behind the scenes, but I also understand that I have to put my face out there with the people. That way more people can see the impact that we're doing. Because it's very cringy to me.
This question wasn't on there, but we're going into the age 2026 that it's branding.
Yeah, it's just branding. Yeah.
Like you kind of, we're gonna have to. That's why I'm here, because I get it. I'm like that too. But
I've been doing branding for the past 10 years,
but yourself.
Yeah, myself. So slowly, people are starting to, and I figured this out too. Is like it's gonna take years and years and years for people to figure out, oh, that's what that guy does. Because even if you tell them a million times, they're gonna forget. And once you stop posting or something like that, then they forget about you. That's why consistency matters. So
yeah, consistency is very, very important. Can you let us know if has there been a lesson from something that you've worked on as far as a project or whatever that didn't go as planned?
Many of them. I think the thing that when you tell business owners this is what you're gonna do for them, it doesn't work for every. So digital marketing, for example, digital marketing, advertising, it works really good for a lot of businesses. It doesn't work for every business. So, for example, I took on I think it was a medical client, and I was like, I'm gonna get you so many leads and all this stuff. And it didn't work because their product was very high in price, high ticket items, and the demographic that we were going after just simply does not have that money. So you got to understand that when you're going after a high ticket item, there's few people that are going to go after that, versus if you had a medium priced item, there's a lot of people who can afford that. If you have a low price item, there's even more people that can afford that. So it's just that lesson I learned is going after your demographic And if you find somebody that has a product for everybody, it's easier to
So
sell.
you feel that way because I know right now that's all you see, and high ticket offer and this and this and this, and you have all these people going after the 1%. They call it the 1%. It's higher now, I believe, especially in America, I think. I don't know. But so many people are going over that 1%. So everybody's like, high ticket offer just for them. Because I've been hearing people say, don't even offer them. But nobody's fighting for the next chunk.
Yeah.
Do you believe in, so you're saying fight for this chunk because.
If you have a product for every one of them, then you can sell all day long. Like my buddy Albert Sloss at One Shot Gym, I think he spent about $220,000 on Facebook ads last year or the year before.
Wow.
But he sells very high ticket profits items. So he sells the high ticket items, medium, and then also he gets people into the gym that will work on membership and stuff like that. So his
kind of offer
business,
to a little bit of everybody.
Yeah, his business is mostly digital because I think he told me at one point 85% of his clients are all digital. So 15% of them are in his business. So that's where I was very conscious about making a digital life because I want to go more digital because, like I said, it's very cumbersome to be in a place all the time doing stuff over and over and over again. You're digital. You can technically clone yourself with AI and then offer those services.
I've seen those pictures that you've posted.
Yeah.
Like, how does he do that?
Yeah, the Sora. I've been using Sora. Sora a lot lately because this is one of those things
I've heard a few people saying that online. Yeah,
I want to be one of the first people that implements that stuff. That way I can learn it, figure it out, and then offer it to people who might need it.
Okay, we talked about, the things happening in the Rio Grande Valley. You are from here. You have a lot of pride. I can see that. If you could solve one problem in the community, what would it be? It's a tough one.
It would be the water issue.
The water issue.
The water issue because you can't escape water. Like it's in everything. Like it's in the coffee that I'm drinking. It's in the water that you have. Like you cannot escape it. You bathe yourself. You brush your teeth with it. Your children. There's people that still use the water from the tap to make their little bottle for their babies. Right. Like you cannot escape this.
Yeah.
And I think it's just the educational and informational issues that if more people knew about it, then they could make better decisions whether or not they want to use the water. So water would be the main issue. It's just a very big
hopefully we have people
issue.
Listening and stuff like that. And I believe that with you sharing so much passion and energy, you have people watching. I mean, I'm not trying to say, because I just started, but that was, I was like, I've got to have them on. That's an issue. That's a topic that needs to be, covered and so forth. So I appreciate you.
Thank you for having me and let me share it.
Yeah, I appreciate you sharing that mind and heart and your emotions. You definitely shared a lot to us today. But before we go, is there a message that you want to send to the listeners? You mentioned about solving the problem, but is there anything that you'd want them to know as far as helping with that? And helping make an impact? Is there something that they can do, or is it kind of just to the leaders, or is it to them? Can they do something about it?
Yeah.
Or is it something that...
I have a page where they can go sign the what's it called? I haven't pushed it in a while.
A petition?
It's a petition. I'll share it again because I haven't shared it in a while because I found that people just kind of were getting fatigued with the message that I was putting out about the water because it's one of those things that you hear over and over and you get desensitized to it. It's like, all right, dude,
becomes one of those things
you're talking about the water, people sick. Okay, until it affects them, then that's probably when they're going to make a change. But the thing is that we've been dealing with this since the 90s, and people have always come and said that they're never going to stop talking about this, but for some reason, it gets forgotten. So I guess I'm the guy that has the flag right now that's bringing up the issue, and I'm trying to be very cognizant about pushing out the message over and over and over again because eventually I might stop talking about this. I don't know. I have no idea where my life is going to lead me next, but I mean, I'm known as the water boy or the water guy. Like, actually, when I was coming up here, some dude was following me. He was like, hey, you should test out the water here.
Test out the water here. There you go.
So that's cool. I like that. I like interacting with people, and I like talking about these things because talking one-on-one is like different than talking online, right?
Yeah.
But I think the water issue is the one thing that I would really put on notice.
Top for here.
Yeah, because it is an important issue.
Right. And I do believe that, our journey takes us to different things, and, we get, God puts different things in front of us, and I feel like that's kind of like your thing right now, your calling. So if it does, I do think it's going to make a difference. If it does,
just so you know, I didn't want this. I didn't want to be the guy talking about water.
But it bothers you too much, and again,
it's bothersome because people will tell you that people will claim that it's safe to drink by all standards. Yes, everything on here passes. There's no violations.
Right.
But let me ask you this question: if you were to go to my house and I offer you a glass of water and I said, "Hey, it has a little bit of copper, lead, chlorides, haloacetic acids, arsenic, barium, cyanide, fluoride, nitrates, selenium, beta photons, uranium,
people you
lithium."
said 30% of people.
Yeah. Well, a lot of people still use the tap water. Yeah, and they're using
restaurants,
it for the
everything.
Yeah. Like I test out. I try to test out various restaurants, not restaurants per se, because I'm from the restaurant world, so I know they're already having a hard time. So I test out the Starbucks, right? Because they'll be fine. But all of them test good. Like their water tests really well. So I think it's just another thing that I'm going out testing Watermill Expresses and Primo to make sure that people are getting, one, what they paid for, and are getting a high quality product, because water prices are increasing. I'm
excited to witness this journey, and I'm so glad that you are here, and I hope that things get changed, because this is our area and people are affected, and it might not only be here, it might be in other places. So I appreciate that. Thank you for sharing your inspiring story. All right, well, that was our show for today. Thank you for joining us. If you have YouTube, Apple, or Spotify, please follow us there. Thank you for following us on the Ileana Lamar podcast. Have a great day, and as always, remember to spread the love. Mwah.